Okay, hi everyone. I wanted to do a video looking at some Mughal miniatures, especially since a commenter on an earlier video where I talked about this was named Ralph Astley was kind enough to uh, commented twice actually, and he followed up and he pointed me to this company, Freikorp15, this range of figures, and it's sold by a company called this company QRF Models from the UK. Um, and this range is says it's for 1630 to 1840, so that's the reign of Shah Jahan, who probably the name isn't familiar, but he built the Taj Mahal, the famous tomb in India, up to 1840. So basically the end of the dynasty, although the last Mughals are, I think they're basically sent into exile and or die as a result of the 1857 uprising in India against the British, or I guess the East India Company. Uh, but I actually don't know that much about this period of the Mughal army. I mostly know from Babur's time, so the founder of the dynasty at the basically the end of the 15th and early 16th century. There he is, mostly because the Baburname, his memoir, is one of my favorite books. It's been translated several times. I can't recommend it enough. But it looks like the range of figures is for slightly later period. So I've got these two maps from an earlier um, video, and as you can see, for a while the Mughals are not actually even in what we would think of as India today or Pakistan. Babur's from Central Asia. He comes down into North India. He doesn't want to, just kind of the ironies of history. Um, but the Mughal expansion doesn't really cover the whole of the subcontinent until much later, which I have another map I found. Um, yeah, so period of Akbar. So Akbar drives south, and they also go into the Bengal Delta, which is quite interesting because they have to fight a bunch of riverine campaigns there against the local rulers. Um, and there's a book that discusses some of that. It's called The Climate of Conquest by a scholar. His name is Pratay Nath. But he discusses that in the book, which is quite interesting, the kind of riverine forces that they had to develop. Um, Something I like to research more because, like the Ottomans and the Habsburgs, also have to do a lot of riverine kind of um, fighting, actually, in Europe as well. So, not something that's really discussed a lot for the early modern period, it seems. But at any rate, and then Aurangzeb, who's kind of like the infamous Mughal emperor, although there's a lot of exaggerations there. But Shah Jahan and Aurangzeb kind of expand south and more or less covers what the modern kind of nation state of India and Pakistan. Although you can see in Babur's time, it's quite a different geography. But anyway, um, so the figures I think you could use also for the earlier period of Babur's time because Babur's army, you have a lot of Afghans. Although one thing I will say, the pictures on this site are kind of grainy, so it's hard to get a good idea of some of the sculpting. But we've got Afghans. They would definitely be useful because Afghans are the ones that kind of drive the dynasty temporarily out of North India and then Babur's son Humayun has to go to Iran actually to get help, and then they come back, and then that's how they are able to stay in they called it Hindustan. Um, and then we've got Afghans on foot. The sculpting looks pretty good, I think. I mean, um, for 15s, I as much as I love the Christmas of Coruscant miniatures, at 15s they don't need to be that, highly detailed necessarily, although it is nice. Um, so yeah, we've got Afghans on foot. Yeah, we've got Afghan musketeers. One thing that's kind of, I think, a misunderstanding with especially the early Mughals is they're often it's often thought that Babur is able to win because he brings musketeers, and that's what gives him an edge. It's kind of half true. He does bring musketeers, and they are effective, but in especially in northern India, they're the people there also have firearms, so it's not exactly like this totally new technology. Although I think later, and I'll have to research more about this, is I think later the Mughals do have like a musket-based kind of infantry army, like basically everyone did in the by the 17th, late 16th, 17th century, from pretty much from China all the way to of course Western Europe. Um, oh, these elephants look great. I'm a big fan of these elephants. Maybe when I'm back to buying figures, I might buy a couple of these just to get some of them. So it looks like we've got a gunner, I guess an assistant gunner, and the driver. So that looks great. Well, I will say this looks like it should be easy to put together because it's only four pieces, and it looks like they give you plenty of surface. It's one thing about these complex metal models, like when I was assembling the Cossack wagons, that was really difficult just because you have a lot of components, which on a plastic kit is fine, but with the metals, you really need plenty of surface to glue, or else it's hard to fit things together. Um, so I see. So I guess this is like the top, the square thing is the howdah. We've got pieces of the elephant. Let's see. Oh, we've got some camel gunners. I might get these for my other armies as well. Um, my other uh, Islamic armies. Those look neat. Um, I don't think Babur had. I have to read the Baburnama again, but I don't think he went into North India with elephants already. I think that was a later thing in the army, the Mughal army. Oh, these are neat. So we've got camel-mounted rocketeers, more camel infantry, or more camel cavalry, I should say. Got archers on foot. So yeah, a lot of the Mughal forces, especially in the 16th century, were still either horse archers or foot archers. Although, like I said, they're kind of coexisting with the musketeers. Matchlock gunners look nice. Yeah, I just wish they had some of these painted to show, or at least like based up, just so you can kind of see what they look like standing. Um, got a gun crew. I've got some spearmen on foot. Call these Ghazi foot. So I guess these are probably like the Turkic or Mughal kind of soldiers. Light cavalry, and we've got the heavy cavalry. These look pretty nice. I guess they don't have spear. I guess they're supposed to have spears, but you probably have to buy those separate. Okay, well, this looks like a nice range. I think it looks fine. It's just mostly the pictures. It's hard to tell um, these sculpts, but down the road when I'm ready to kind of do this project, when I have more research, I think I'd like to definitely like to try this. Try to build out a Mughal army, and then the hard thing though would just be trying to develop like the opposing army. I could I guess you could also make like a Deccan um, army, opposition army out of these figures too, because they would have been using the same types of soldiers. Yeah. Oh, they do have like I guess it's meant to be like a could be part of a wagon or something. Wagon train. Yeah, they have a couple other ranges I would look at quickly. They have an Ottoman range. They do have early Janissaries. Khorasan also has these that because they have a slightly different cap. Actually, this is one nice thing that they have that the other, at least I don't think Khorasan has these. Is so you've got Janissaries with spears. Um, that would these would be useful for an Ottoman army, like if you wanted to have like siege, um, like the guys sent into the breach during a siege, because obviously they probably wouldn't go in with their muskets, especially because their muskets tended to be kind of heavy. Um, so they've got a spear and a shield, so that can be pretty useful. Got later Janissaries. They do have these you could use definitely for like the mercenary type soldiers they would have recruited in the Balkans, um, or Anatolia for that matter. The muskets look a little blocky, but like I said, it's kind of hard to tell with these pictures. I hate to harp on that because yeah, I don't know. Got Janissary later, Janissaries with spears. Yeah, like I said with the other ones, this would be good if you wanted to make like a couple bases of kind of like siege, I don't know what you call that. The guy, yeah, basically the siege breachers. Yeah, this looks like a pretty nice range. A lot of stuff that would be definitely useful for like 15th century and like maybe even before. Um, Although it's not totally clear like when the Janissary Corps is established. But yeah, these look nice. Then let's see. Got. I am curious about trying these because the lances look like they don't. I mean, they're obviously made from the pewter, but they look like the way they're positioned that they're less likely to kind of bend and warp, which could be another benefit to these figures. Yeah, nice, good stuff. And then the other range I wanted to look at is I would like to get some 7 Years War figures because there's a couple, um, there are a couple conflicts with the Ottomans and the Austrians in the 18th century. There's one where the Ottomans actually win. They retake Belgrade for a period of time, short period of time, 1730. But yeah, I actually don't know. Yeah, this is what I was interested in. Actually, it was the Grenzers. So these would have been the soldiers on the frontier, the kind of light infantry the um, during the 18th century that were settled on the military frontier with the Ottomans. Although um, the conflict wasn't as intense in the 18th century. Grenzer Command. Oh, I've got some hussars. Probably, I would guess in the 18th century these would have been Hungarians. Jaegers. Hungary. Oh, here we go. Hungarian Fusiliers. Um, yeah, I don't know about these muskets though. They look kind of, um, and I'm sure it's hard to like sculpt these details at 15 millimeter, but they look a little off. But it is nice. They've got Hungary. They've got the Hungarian command. Um, got Hungarian grenadiers. Yeah, I would like to make a 7 Years War army at some point, but not anytime soon. I've got enough projects. But it is nice to know that they have quite a lot for 7 Years War in this company. Um, so I got Russia. So if I wanted to war game the 18th century conflicts between the Turks and the Russians, I could do that with these figures also. If I ever develop that inclination, but they've got a lot of nice stuff. Looks like so. Um, and just look at this quickly because this could be. Well, they do have some terrain. Nice, and the prices are actually pretty reasonable, so it's good to know. Swiss, Spanish. All right. Well, yeah, I think that's all I really have to say. Looks like there's some nice figures, nice Mughal figures. Um, and yeah, looks like they've got a nice set of ranges here. So, all right. Well, thanks for watching. I hope you found this informative. And if I ever order from them, I'm on a bit of a miniature buying hiatus for a while, next few weeks, couple weeks at least. But I managed to order from these. I'll definitely do a review, of course, and paint them up. And then I am able to paint again, so I was able to finish a the first Cossack wagon today, actually. So keep working at it and do more painting videos. But I wanted to just do a range review of this, and yeah, okay. All right, thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one.